guys are here decorating. You can see the purple being applied to the walls. Feels like a bit of an ink all of a sudden. Right, I'm in Stourbridge. Trying to be discreet filming this because there's loads of people in here. But let's see on the progress that's been made. It's absolutely freezing in there, so we needed to step out for a second, gather our bearings. Whilst we're here, we may as well refuel as well. A lovely little coffee shop next door. I don't know the name of it. What is it? Number 92 Coffee Lounge. Really, really nice. Lovely stuff as well. So we are going to tuck into some food now. Looks proper nice. This jacket potato was cooked in Mordor. The rip out has continued. They've taken down all the electric wire, all the random cables that were lying around. We've decided to literally rewire the whole place because it's so much easier than trying to figure out what wire goes to where and chase it all the way back to the fuse board. So they're just going to put new feeds in. The good thing with the stud work, these things here, is that you can run all the cables behind, which is why Betfred did this originally in the first place, because it just conceals everything. They obviously put their overboards on top of it. We're going to plasterboard on top of it and then skim it all. Essentially run everything behind here. It's all completely hidden, and that makes it way easier because the fuse board is just there as well, so you can literally go straight back to there. Yeah, we've got to figure out ways of boxing these aircon units in. And it's not just that unit itself, it's this pipework as well, which there's two of those, so they go outside somewhere, so we need to do that in a way which, you know, doesn't look horrendously ugly. And the hard thing with that is there's steels everywhere in the ceiling, so you can't go straight through those, so you have to go below them. But it's trying to come up with a creative way of making those at least blend in, and at best look quite nice as well, so trying to figure that out. I'm planning to keep these, we were gonna re-stud all these things off, but the stud's actually fine, so we can board directly straight on top of this. Because it's a big pillar in the way, it's a bit of an odd one really. Like obviously you can't get rid of that, it's holding up the building and whatever's above here. So you can't get rid of that altogether, but we can make it into a bit of a feature, so we'll probably mirror that. So from all angles it's going to show off the rest of the shop, so you'll get like a nice look from wherever you are on different elements, especially with the four corners on there. This whole place is turning into, like, you know, one of those just very slightly awkward on everything. Like everything's like nearly perfect, and that's probably doesn't seem like a big thing, but it's like, how does the finished look of it appear? Does that make any sense? Don't look straight, does it? That.
Yeah, just leave that where it is.
Yeah, this wall's running off, but I think it's just because of that. Imagine if I pulled this out and it just came straight. No, it's quite. Yeah.
The one problem is there's still too many things in here. Too many things like this and too many wires still. So I think I might have to lace up the work boots and get back in here for a day.
So we're trying to figure out the desk situation, where it should go, how big it should be, what the layout should be. We don't want to use up too much of the shop space. We don't want to encroach too much, but then at the same time, we also want it to be functional. We want to be able to, you know, have probably one or two people behind there at the same time, and also house all the things like the printer and all that kind of jazz as well. That might go somewhere else, depending on how we plan it. So where do you reckon so far?
I think we need to start roughly from where this bat is, to give enough room for people to come into the shop comfortably.
Yeah.
And I think that we probably need to go wider into the shop and not back as far as we normally would, to give enough space to be.
We do have width, if anything, don't we?
Yeah, I think we've got the width. And if we're going to have like a design area here, an artist here, then I think we need to, the desk needs to stay as far forward as possible.
It gets a bit awkward sometimes when you come straight into the building and you're immediately at the reception desk. I always like there to be a little bit of a gap, so you can, like, you know, if you're thinking about something, you can maybe stand there for a second, then walk over and converse. So yeah, probably that's a good idea. We're gonna mark it out with some rubbish basically. Yeah, some rubbish, and see where see if we can get an envisionment for it. We're also going to be changing the style of the desk. In a lot of the studios we go for a rustic wood or a rustic wood effect, depending on what materials we've got at hand at the time. And I think it's a little bit tired, I think it's a bit dated, and I think it'd be nice to update the design of the desk, not only for this place, but I think down the line we should slowly change the desks in the shops as well. So we normally burn the wood or get a certain stain on the wood. We've got a secret sauce that can do that, and also sometimes we can find reclaimed wood, which is good enough, but it's a hard material to find enough of that matches all the time. So we're trying to make a bit of a different thing, which we can just replicate a little bit easier, but still look cool, still look enticing, and still be like an effective reception desk as well. So Luke's doing a great makeshift desk right now.
I think it should be that kind of shape person.
Yeah.
You think it needs to be much bigger? Maybe slightly, no?
I think it's got to go a bit longer.
That way?
Yeah.
Further back, yeah?
Not further back, no, as in like the length. That way needs to be a bit further. Or you might have been thinking that already.
Like this?
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that was the end of it.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like here.
I think, yeah, sorry, a bit further still.
A bit further still, yeah?
Yeah, like that, yeah. So the good thing about that is you can approach from the front. Someone will be able to talk to you from this angle here. So you could be standing here, talking to me here. Hello, I'd like to book a tattoo, please. Or you could also talk from this angle as well. You know, if you needed to, you could walk up to Luke here and say, hello, I'd like to book a tattoo, please. Yeah, you could do that from both angles. That's good days. So we're not going to put the print station and the stencil station inside the desk. We should mount that there.
Should mount it separately.
So it's away from
behind
the desk.
it and make a feature out of this wall here, whatever size we decide. Station here, desk here.
Yeah.
And then first artist.
And then the first artist starts there.
Yeah.
To there.
What did we decide on then? We're leaving the studio.
We were just going to go straight, weren't we?
Yeah, straight.
It feels a shame now when you see it like that.
I
feel like we should go back to the wall, you know.
I feel like we should go back to the wall and then artists should kind of have that should be
like their defined kind of
yeah.
station. Agreed. Absolutely agreed.
Obviously, as far as the one we've got the width, that's not a problem, but like I definitely think
it is a shame to lose that. I suppose it's just the what's it called, isn't it? The feeds. We're gonna have to stud that as well then. Do you mean?
What?
Huh?
What?
Do you mean stud it or skim that?
Skim that.
We've got to get the feeds for the power sockets and the sockets and stuff, haven't we?
Easy.
Oh, easy, he says. Easy.
So
Straight through the back instead.
straight through the back.
Okay, yeah, so we just skim that then, don't we? That makes more sense, and it gives that artist a little bit more of a defined kind of place as well. I think maybe a little bit further forward with the desk.
Yeah, a little bit if possible. It would be nice.
I think that's enough. So that's going to be the footprint for the reception desk. Back in Stourbridge, there has been loads and loads and loads of progress. We have lights, we have all of the walls now boarded, and they're also now skimmed and dry as well, so it looks really nice. Let's give you guys a real quick overview. So a few remaining boards knocking around, but most of the first fit's electricity is done. These are obviously waiting for different fittings. But the place now looks huge, looks really big, it looks really airy and spacious. Yeah, everything has been skimmed, to a really high standard. The aircon unit, we were trying to figure out how to vent it out. We've gone for this industrial look, which I think looks really cool when it's going to be all painted in with the ceiling, and we have rerouted it so now it comes on this right angle down here. Follows all the way down, links up to this one again on another right angle, and then that flows all the way straight through. A little bit jiggery, but I think it blends in nicely, especially when you factor in that all the ceiling's going to be painted and all that's going to be painted in. I don't think you'll notice it at all. It's not like you're ever lying on your back in a tattoo shop looking up at the, no, but anyway, it's going to look good, and that's what needed to be done. We didn't have the luxury of being able to go above the ceiling. Really nice finish. The plasterers have done a phenomenal job. Everything is nice and smooth. The sparks have done a great first fix. I think there's a few little bits and bobs which need to be continued to first fix. Next up is scraping the remainder of all of this off the floor, because it's all in the way, so we can then figure out how we're going to floor the place. There was a bit of a slope down here beforehand where the ground was a little bit uneven and it kind of fell away, so we were thinking we might need to use an LVT, which is a luxury vinyl tile. Yeah, an LVT flooring, which you glue onto the actual floor rather than it being like a material. It's really thin and quite pliable, but I don't think we're going to need it. We can kind of see where we're at, and I think we can do it with a self level. We don't have to go and find a specialised floor. We can just use what we always use and really like. So yeah, we now have a completed shell ready for decoration. Myself and Luke, we're now going to figure out where everything's going to go, how much of whatever we need to buy, and then buy it, get it all delivered here, and then start to assemble the place. So we are on good track. It has been roughly 3 weeks at this point. Yeah, very happy with the progress, moving on nicely, and now it's just to make it all look pretty, look like a Vivid Ink, and then get the doors open. In the meantime, all the advertising and all the promotional work that we do has been going outstandingly well. The form which is on the door has also been released online, and we've had a ridiculous amount of people subscribe for bookings in advance of us opening, so that is all fantastic. If you aren't on that, I'd get yourselves on there, because it's looking like it's going to be horrendously busy when we open, which is great. Just finalising all the artists, they will all be announced soon as well, and yeah, generally everything is going to plan. Right, Luke's trying to figure out how much the floor is running out. So you scrape it back, get a nice flat piece on there, and see what the gap is. I would say the gap is severe.
Yeah, that's quite a drop for laminate, that is.
Pardon?
We're definitely going to have to self-level this area. That's a drop.
How far, if you push it, how far does it go until it like levels off? Does it come back at all, or does it stay? So the further you go, it appears that the gap gets bigger. It's not a temporary drop, it's a permanent one. It's going to be hard to build that up, you know, that level. Never good when you see a huge shadow on the floor. Conundrum. What do you do with an unflat floor? After I've just spent ages saying we don't need LVT. The reason we don't want to use LVT, by the way, is because it's so expensive. It's expensive to buy. It's really expensive to fit. We went to see our pal who owns Floor Street, and even at cost price, it's still, for this space, £6,000, which is a hell of a lot of money in just the floor. Carry on.
Can you screed from just like here onwards as far as this area?
Yeah. I mean, you definitely can screed from there to there, can't you?
Sure you can.
The other problem with self-leveling floor is there's only so thick you can do before it would crack. Self-level by nature, you pour it on, it finds its own level, it goes off. But I can't remember off the top of my head, but you're probably talking what, 18, 20 mil maximum? 20 mil maximum. And this looks more like 40 mil, but obviously that's 40 mil right away. So if it runs out, continues to run out, and like say if it starts this thin and then it continues to run, then by the end it might be a meter deep over there. No, it won't be a meter deep, but it might be like, do you know what I mean? You could be swimming in it. You could be literally swimming in the self-level over there. But so yeah, got to be just a bit careful that we don't do something which is going to cause us a further issue down the line when you self-level it and then it all cracks afterwards or doesn't go off or whatever. So we need to find out for definite and yeah, get some advices, as Arnold Schwarzenegger would say. Guys are here decorating. You can see the purple being applied to the walls, which is always one of the great things to see when you start to see the colour on the walls. It really feels like a vivid ink all of a sudden. At the moment we are cutting around all the light fitting, all the sockets. Then generally, because it's a big open space, we're going to spray it. So this is the spray machine here. What the spray machine does is basically gets you a better coat, nice and even, and it also speeds up the process massively. You can do like an entire ceiling way faster than doing it with rollers, and you get a better finish as well. So whenever we can, we always try and use the spray to do things like that. This wall is gone black, and traditionally go black because we always put a wallpaper on one specific wall, and that is a nice backing colour to it in case there's any small gaps between the wallpaper. Lucas, what happened with the floor?
With the floor, we was quite uneven, and there was a few bits that just slanted down, which were quite awkward for the laminate flooring, just because it needs to be on a flat surface. So we've had the entire floor screeded. So in the past, a lot of the defects on the floor were hidden by the carpet. It had a really thick carpet on it, and obviously carpet can just follow the slopes, whereas the thick laminate flooring that we have couldn't follow any of those, and also it would have had a bounce in the floor and would have just led to the floor becoming broken and damaged within no time at all.
But yeah, the floor is lovely and flat now. This would be great for rollerblading. You could get some serious rollerblading on it here. Just got off the phone, we're talking to Tony from Floor Street about the flooring for Stourbridge. We use these guys all the time. They are an absolutely brilliant company to work with. Not only that, Tony, who owns the place, is a real close personal friend of mine. I've known him for 10 years, so it's brilliant to you know, have that personal relationship as well as that professional relationship as well, where you work together. Floor Street as a company do both supply and fit of flooring. Sometimes we use them just to buy the flooring off them, like I say, and sometimes we have those guys fit it as well, depending on the particular situation. In this case, we're going to have their fitters fit the floor. They always do an impeccable job. So yeah, Floor Street generally, brilliant company to work with. They've got, you know, they're making real big strides in their industry. Flooring is, you know, it's one of those kind of industries where generally you get pushy salespeople, you don't really know what to buy, it's a bit of a crap experience, and those guys are like doing a 180, bucking the trend completely, and they've created a showroom which is just, I've never seen a flooring showroom like it. I remember when he was explaining his plans to me and I was like, yeah, go on then mate, it sounds brilliant, but I couldn't quite get my head around it for a flooring store, and now you see it, it's just phenomenal. It really does look the business, and yeah, they're changing the game now. You see people popping up left, right and centre copying them, but yeah, Floor Street, great guys. They're going to be doing all the supply and fit of the floor, so you'll see that progress a little bit later as well. We are at City Neon, a place where we always go to get the neons for the places. It's really nice to come to these little specialist kind of companies, so let's go have a look.
Yeah. Just walking on.
How was it?
Yeah.
Can you just walk in?
Not really. Hello Laszlo, how you doing?
Hello mate, how you doing? You okay?
Good.
The guys have been making the signs for us for the last 4 or 5 years, maybe, something along those lines. It's always great to come in here. It's really loud in here, but it's always great to come in here and watch the process a little bit. Let's see if they can let me do a little bit today. But yeah, it's always good. These guys are true experts as well, and it's nice to go with the old school methods of doing these things rather than just buying the new neon things online and all that kind of jazz. There's a real difference between the two products, and yeah, it's stunning, really stunning what they do. We can have a little go, yeah?
We have a little go?
Yes. Right, let's see the pros do it first.
Bend a piece of this, which is your letter I coating.
Okay.
And then your
yeah, fantastic.
then you can have a go at it. I'll just mark where I'm going to start. And then use this burner to bend the place.
Yeah? Okay, I've got it.
Got it? On that side. And then you'll
You're not going to get hot. Not going to get hot on the side.
No. As long as you don't touch where you put it in the flame.
Come on then, Luke, do the business.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Press it back.
Oh no, it's so hot!
Nearly there.
Not much of a drawing left.
How's that?
Okay, great.
I bet you're so glad you came down now.
I'm going to do the rest now. Which is a double back,
Yeah.
and then it drops down. Use this flame for the sharper bends and that for the
more sweeping bends.
yeah. So that will be that there.
You've got to blow in it to maintain the diameter of the tube.
Yeah, okay.
The blowing does exactly the same thing when the plumber puts a spring inside the tube to stop it collapsing.
Oh really?
So you have to blow it to stop the tube collapsing.
Ah. You really get a new sense of appreciation for. Yeah, I'll have a go for definite. I'm just saying, you get a really new sense of appreciation of the craftsmanship that actually goes into creating these things. You know, you forget sometimes. You just go and you see like, oh, there's the neon. Oh yeah, great. But like, these guys have literally hand blown these things themselves and they've bent it all into shape and done all these mad drawings. It's truly, really incredible to be fair. Bend in the middle, 90 degrees. Right, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, mine did.
Will I know when to bend it? You just whispered on my ear that was the best one he's ever seen done ever.
Oh, did you burn yourself then?
Warm.
So they will have done all the bends and everything, all on the back, turn it over.
Yeah. That's mental. So that's an iron and D, isn't it, Dan?
Yes. Obviously that will be painted over there with no paint, so it comes alive.
Considering I just bent it like 90 degrees and it was quite complicated, to imagine these bends, all these really elaborate, you know, there's bends in both directions as well, aren't there? Like backwards for the projection off the wall, and then, yeah, it's incredible. I'm going to put this down before I break it.
Okay, no worries.
Yes. As a, what are those people called who love fires? What are they called? They don't set fire to things. Not an arsonist. Now there's another one, people who just love fires. I'm one of those basically. I don't want to say I'm an arsonist because that sounds really bad. But that is stunning, that is. Amazing.
This is where we rub the tubes in after we making it, because if anything goes wrong with them, it'll be
here.
First few hours, you know.
Got ya. This is the neon colour that we use. So, is that part of our sign?
That is the sign.
That is the sign.
But like it's all muddled up.
Okay, so this is the sign, but all muddled up, upside down, back to front. But that will create something really cool. You'll see when it's completed how stunning it looks and how vibrant it actually is. Obviously, it's completely different to tattooing. It's one's tattooing, one is making neon signs, but there's a lot of similarities. It's all bespoke. We never order the same size neon. We always order, varying different sizes depending where it's going in the studio. So they're all handmade, bespoke to what our requirements, and I just love that about it. These are great guys as well. So accommodating. Even just filming this today, it's really nice of them to let us do it. And I love this whole process. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Massively appreciate it. What's up, man? See you later, buddy. Cheers, mate. One of the downsides to doing all this work is there's often quite a lot of mess. This is what I like to do when there's a problem. See that? See that? Yes, just close the door on it and think about that another time. Frontage wise, everything is turning from blue to black. It's a little bit of a process to do that because it's a PVC that the window frames are made out of, which is a real awkward material to get paint to stick to. You can sometimes vinyl it, but outdoors it doesn't always last that long. So what we're doing is we paint it with a coat of, it's called Zinza. It's like a really specialist paint which sticks pretty much to anything and it causes a real good base coat. From blue to this white colour. Then you've got Eugene covering the Zinza then with undercoats as well. The undercoats are dark grey, and then after that then we're going to go with a top coat of black. So that transforms the entire frontage then from this weird blue colour to vivid ink black. Like the true expert you are, Yuj.
Yeah, not bad. I've learned a lot from your dad over the years. 35 years.
Yeah, Eugene's actually worked for my dad for 35 years, which means I've known Eugene my entire life, which is
Longer than I've been alive.
longer than Luke's been alive. So Luke's also known Eugene for his entire life as well. It's been a pleasure knowing you. Said that like he's like. Oh, you touched it.
Yeah. Typical.
It's always one. Right, time to do a little bit of lugging.
Yeah, go right. Need to go around a bit more.
It's not like this, really. That was heavy. Right, those are what the desk could be made out of, by the way. They are 9x6. Most boards are 8x4 and they're 9x6. And they're melamine, veneered on either side. We're turning to entering the world's strongest man competition. So this is what's going to form the basis of the desk. CLS, so 3x2. Then you have 18mm MDF, couple of sheets of that. And then you have these massive, really heavy melamine covered boards. So as you can see, there's no edging on it as of yet. So you can just see the chipboard. But once it's all screwed together, then the edges go on and you should have a nice finish to the not the outside of the desk. The outside of the desk has been covered in something very decorative, but this is a working surface for the inners of the desk, and the desk is going to go right there. So yes, now we've got the idea of the materials. Jay, who is the carpenter, he used to be a joiner, so he used to work in a joinery factory actually making bespoke furniture, so he's phenomenal at this kind of thing. He's going to make the desk up. We're going to do a drawing for him, try and come up with something a little bit different. Let's probably sketch it out on paper first and foremost, digitalize it, and then he's going to then turn that into reality. We're going with a bit of a different finish on the desk. We'll see what that's going to look like in one of the later videos. What's missing, you'll see on here on the walls, is there's no skirting board. The skirting board we always put down after we put the floor down, so the skirting board can sit on top, and then there's no need for any beading or anything like that. You get a super nice finish. We're going to go with an MDF skirting in here instead, because traditionally we use like a pine one or a timber one, and it can shrink and expand a little bit depending on how well it's been kept and all of that kind of stuff. But in this place we're going to go with MDF because all the walls are all brand new. It gives us a chance to put like brand new skirting throughout everywhere, and often we're trying to match up skirting, you know, with other places, and you know, sticking with some of the original and adding some more bits in, whereas in this place it's completely empty, so we can throw all new skirting on. Right, bit of a late one today, only just getting to Stourbridge now to check on the floor fitters, so let's have a little look how they've done. Very nice indeed, what a sight. We have floor, fantastic, and it looks really, really good. Very, very happy with this. Really gives you a great kind of idea of how big this space actually is, all the way from this corner to this corner. And that doesn't include the reception area as well. So it's really opened the space up. I really, really like it. The floor was a little bit all over the place, as you will remember from earlier, and where the self level has gone down, it looks completely flat. Let's go and have a quick walk over there and check that it is. Luke's looking at it like a hawk. Do you reckon? Place Luke on it?
Pretty flat now to me.
Nice. Let's have a little walk on it. Nah, it's literally perfectly flat. Can't fault that. Fantastic floor fitters. It really makes a difference when it's an expert in their craft, because I'm sure this could have been botched and it probably would not have felt this good, but it probably wouldn't have lasted at all as well. And now we know for the next however many years this floor is still going to be completely solid, so that's always really nice as well. So yeah, great job by the team. Thank you very much to Floor Street for that. And yeah, it's always nice when the floor goes down because you can see the space now. You can see it taking shape, and the beauty about once the floor's gone down as well is you can start to bring things in. So, you know, we've got all the tattoo beds, all of the furniture, all of the artist stations and everything that's just ready and waiting at the moment to come in, but you can't bring it in at the moment because it's just in the way, and also there's no point setting it up and then moving out of the way to put the flooring down. So now the flooring is down, we can start to actually assemble the place, and then from there it's just about the niceties, making it look and feel like a Vivid Ink, and all the finishing touches. So we are very, very close.
Couple of samples from Floor Street. Check the colour against the wood. So they're both pretty soft. This one is softer if you feel them.
Yeah, this one is soft. That is very soft. And this one is not as soft.
This one's not as soft, it's like a slightly rougher pile.
Yeah, hang on.
Still quite soft.
Not as soft as this.
Colour, that's the main thing.
Yeah, what colour are we going to go for?
This.
You know what, that's pretty nice, that is.
Pretty nice, isn't it? So it's very hard wearing as well.
Is that the thickness of it as well, how it would fit
The
up to
thickness of the carpet, but there's going to be a little underlay possibly. Yeah. But there'll be a door bar in between, so it'll feel level.
Okay, what about on the thicker carpets? Yeah. I think the slightly less thicker product, but it still feels really nice. Like feels more to me like what you'd have in your home, as opposed to like a nice carpet in a you know, a shop essentially.
10-year warranty on wearing.
10-year warranty on wearing. That's quite
extra heavyweight carpet.
Quite a long time.
The other three just running in line with this one here, all the way around. Slat wall the entire length until the rewire.
This is how sometimes you set yourself reminders for things. It's all well and good writing everything down, but you can write stuff down and go, hang on a second, I forgot about that. Whereas if you record everything, voice it over to yourself, then you can always look back and refer on it, and it all kind of makes sense. Does make you look insane is the only thing.
Down there, wallpaper. Anything else? Oh, we've changed TV location from there to in the middle of.
It is the only thing. You do look a little bit insane, but it is helpful. I do it all the time. I'm kind of doing it right now. Okay, so a big part of what we do as well is showing people on social media the process that we're currently going through. So I am here with Brandon today to film a really quick overview of the studio in its current condition. We're going to post that onto social media. He's going to film me rather than me hold the camera and film myself, because it looks a little bit more professional for social media. And I'm going to use this to round off episode 2 as well. I'm really appreciative if you're still watching this, because it's been a hell of a long episode. Episode 3 is going to be what ties it all together, so it's everything to literally take it to the finished studio. I'm also going to include the first day of tattooing on there as well. In the back side of things as well, we have also hired a receptionist. She's currently training in our Birmingham branch. Her name is Rachel. She's doing fantastic. So when she does get to come and work here, she's going to be well equipped to answer every inquiry that we have for all of our customers. So that's been going on behind the scenes as well. But yes, thank you for watching. We really appreciate it, and I will catch you guys soon.